Welcome to the September 10th, 2025 regular meeting of the Chino Valley Fire Board of Directors. The time is 4 p.m. I will now open the meeting and take roll. Director Howie?
Here.
Director Luth?
Here.
Director Romaine?
Present.
And Vice President Krieger is on his way. He'll be here shortly. Board members, please make sure when you comment your microphones are on and remember to talk directly into the microphone. Next on the agenda is closed session. The Board of Directors will meet in closed session to discuss the following items. Public employee performance evaluation pursuant to Government Code Section 54957, Title Legal Counsel. Item number 2, public employee appointment pursuant to Government Code Section 54957, Title Legal Counsel. And do we have any public comment on this agenda item?
We have no request to speak on this item.
Okay, so with that, I will now adjourn the open session to, I'm already reading, I'm going to close the meeting. I'm ahead of myself today, so I will now adjourn to closed session and we will return to open session at 6 p.m. Thank you. At this time, I'm going to reopen to open session. Welcome to the September 10th, 2025 regular meeting of the Chino Valley Fire District Board of Directors. The time is 6:04. We will now begin the meeting and take roll. Director Howie?
Present.
Director Luth?
Here.
Director Romaine?
Present.
Vice President Krieger?
Here.
And myself present. Legal counsel, can you please report out a closed session, or should I report?
Yes, thank you, Board President. If the board can hear me, I wanted to note there's no reportable action on the closed session item read into the record earlier this evening.
Okay, thank you very much. Next, we are going to do the flag salute and invocation. I asked if you can all rise and join us for the flag salute. And DC Skipard, would you lead us in the flag salute?
Please join me in honoring our flag. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And then I ask that you remain standing, and if you can have Chaplain Percy, if you could please lead us in the invocation. Thank you.
Thank you. Let us pray. Lord, I just thank you for this day, Lord. I thank you for everyone here gathering today, Lord. I ask blessings upon them all, Lord, and their families and their health, Lord. Lord, I ask you to be with our board of directors and our chiefs, Lord, as they deal with any issues that they have to go over today, Lord. I ask for guidance for their decisions, Lord, and everything that they go over today, Lord. Just be with them, Lord. Lord, I ask you to be with these two recipients of the 10 and 20-year service awards, Lord. I thank you for their service, Lord. I ask you to be with them and their families, Lord. I ask you to be with Deputy Chief Skipard, Lord, for his 32 years of service, Lord, also, Lord. I ask you to be with him in his retirement. Guide him with his health, Lord, his finances, Lord, and just protect him, Lord, and let him just shine for you after he departs on his retirement. Let him enjoy. Lord, I just want to ask you to bless our Deputy Sheriff also, Lord, that is here. Let him be observant, Lord, and aware, and give him the strength, the ability to protect and keep an eye, Lord. I ask you this in Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you very much. Clerk, would you like to have any changes to the agenda?
We have no changes to the agenda today. The first item on our agenda is presentations and announcements. And we invite up Board President Ramos Evinger and Fire Chief Williams to come forward.
All right, so this evening we have one proclamation on the agenda. The complete proclamation is available on our website as part of our agenda packet. It is the 24th anniversary of the most devastating terrorist attacks to ever hit our homeland, and the Chino Valley Fire District vowed to never forget the selfless acts of courage and duty of not only those who fell on September 11, 2001, but those who have lost and those who carry on. The Chino Valley Fire District Board of Directors would like to solemnly proclaim September 11th as National Day of Service and Remembrance, recognizing all firefighters who fall on the line of duty everywhere. We invite everyone to join us for our annual September 11th Remembrance Ceremony taking place tomorrow, Thursday, September 11th at the 9/11 Memorial located at Fire Station 66, 13707 Peyton Drive in Chino Hills. The ceremony will begin at 9 a.m. and we look forward to seeing everyone there. And Chief Williams?
Yeah, so this is a very special day in many ways for us to just take the time and recognize the fire service specifically. For those of you that are not in the business, you know, every time I hear the words, or I'll look up at the time and it'll say 3:43. It's just a random number like any other number, like where it says 6:09 right now, but if it says 3:43, it automatically resonates. I think I've heard this many times throughout the years, whether you were in the fire service, in law enforcement, but most people can say that they always remember where they were when that incident took place, and I can as well. I was just driving into work. I worked at San Gabriel Fire Department at the time, so I really just want to take a moment to say thank you to all of the fire service personnel here at Chino Valley Fire and across the nation that come into work every day, truly not knowing what the day is going to hold and whether or not you are going to be able to go home to your families. This is a business of service. We understand why we do it. It still does come with inherent risks, and so thank you to all the personnel, many of who are here today, that serve every day, serve our community selflessly. So thank you very much, and tomorrow we'll take some time to reflect and show honor to those folks that gave everything they had. In some cases, it meant their life. So that's all I have.
Okay, all right, thank you. Do you want a picture?
Thank you. The next item on our agenda is Employee Service Awards, and this is for 10 years of service. EMS nurse Leslie Parham was not able to attend tonight's meeting. Although she could not be here with us tonight, we want to recognize her.
Okay. Leslie Parham has been a registered nurse for more than 28 years. She earned her undergraduate nursing degree from the University of Phoenix and her Juris Doctorate from Western State University College of Law. Her nursing career began with roles in trauma, surgical ICU, emergency department, flight nursing, and emergency department management. Driven by a passion for emergency medical services, Leslie transitioned into fire-based nursing, dedicating 9 years to the EMS program management at San Bernardino County Fire Department before joining Chino Valley Fire District. For the past decade, she has continued to advance EMS initiatives for the district. Leslie represents Chino Valley Fire District on several local and state communities, working to strengthen EMS systems and programs. In 2020, she was selected to lead the implementation of the Emergency Communications Nurse System, also known as ECNS, to the district's dispatch center, a program that has since become a model of success within the county. Thank you, Leslie, for your 10 years of service to the fire district, and congratulations. Chief, just say, please.
Yeah, so we're very sad that Leslie couldn't be here tonight with us. As I think about Leslie as what she contributes to this organization, I look at our partners to the north. We have the City of Ontario Fire Department, Rancho Cucamonga Fire District. I think each of those organizations have anywhere between 3 to 5 folks that are sort of in her capacity, and we have one. But none of them have one like we have. Ours is not only a nurse, but she's also, she's got her doctorate. She's extremely sharp. She's extremely well connected. It's people like her that help us elevate the organization. Was already mentioned, the ECNS program. Albeit they have 3 and 5, and a lot of other agencies have more nurses, they reached out to us because they know who Leslie is and what quality she is and what she brings to the table. So we couldn't do this job without folks like her. She keeps elevating our game. So Leslie, we're sorry you couldn't be here. Maybe you'll watch the video, but we appreciate you. We appreciate your family, and congratulations on your time.
Thank you. Thank you again, Chief.
The next item on the agenda is another Employee Service Award, this time for 20 years of service, and we invite Accountant Don Burns to please come forward.
Okay. John began her career with the Chino Valley Fire District on September 19, 2005 as an accounting technician and was promoted to accountant in August 2016. In her current role, she oversees accounts payable, the general ledger, the U.S. bank card program, and purchasing through Tyler New World. She is also responsible for calculating annual Cal OES rates, preparing month-end close entries and financial statements, and reconciling all the district's bank and investment accounts. Dawn works directly with outside auditors to support the district's annual financial audit and plays a lead role in the annual budget process. Dawn earned her associate's degree in accounting from Chaffey College and later completed her bachelor's degree in finance from Columbia Southern University. She served as vice chair of the Inland Empire chapter of the California Society of Municipal Fire Officers and has volunteered with local organizations including Red Bucket Equine Rescue and Rebel Ranch. Originally from Pennsylvania, Dawn enjoys returning home to visit family and spending time with friends. Her hobbies include attending Top Fuel dragster races and professional bull rider and rodeo events, as well as weightlifting, hiking, biking, and being outdoors in nature. Dawn, thank you very much for your 20 years of service to the district, and congratulations.
So when I think of Dawn, I think of the unsung heroes. There's not a space in this organization that Dawn doesn't touch. As you can imagine, all the things that we have to accomplish here, whether it's responding to incidents, whether it's having toilet paper at the station, whether it's having paper that we can print in the printer here, whatever those things, every one of those are managed by some level of a program manager, who ultimately we all have to go back to Dawn to ask her, what do we do? How do we make this purchase? How do we get these people paid? There's much about what was said with respects to all the things that she does, but there's a lot that she doesn't do. She touches every bit of this organization. I've even had some conversations with our board members when they're asking questions, and I want to really highlight the kind of work our folks do, and they'll probably have a couple of them shake their head. I'll say, hey, when you want to see what our folks are doing, I said, pass by Dawn's office when she's in there. She's got stacks. Her whole office is just full of stuff. It's not stuff just sitting there. It's probably touched every single day, and it never goes away, which means there's a lot of work there. So, Dawn, we couldn't thank you very much more than what you already do. We appreciate you, and we truly know, I truly know that we couldn't keep the lights on without the finance department. Mark, no disrespect, but without Dawn. So, thank you.
The next item on our agenda is a retirement recognition, and we invite Deputy Chief Carlos Skibar to please come forward.
Okay, Deputy Chief Carlos Skibar began his journey with the Chino Valley Fire District in 1993 as a firefighter, following his early involvement as a fire explorer and reserve firefighter. Over the course of more than 3 decades of service, Carlos rose through the ranks and became Deputy Chief in 2021, leaving behind a distinguished career defined by leadership, innovation, and unwavering dedication to the community. Throughout his career, Carlos contributed to multiple specialized teams, including hazardous materials, urban search and rescue, and swiftwater rescue. He played a key role in developing the district's Homeland Security program and launching an active shooter training program, initiatives that have greatly enhanced preparedness and community safety. Carlos has been deeply committed to his professional development and education. He earned his doctorate in psychology and master's degree in American history, alongside extensive studies in fire technology and government, reflecting his lifetime pursuit of knowledge. Most recently, he became a published author with the release of his book, Evolution, further showcasing his passion for learning and sharing ideas beyond the fire service. His leadership extended beyond the fire service as well, with active involvement in trail life in the Kiwanis Club and church ministries. Beyond his professional accomplishments, Carlos is a devoted family man to his wife Erica and proud parents to 2 children, Ezekiel and Hattie. In retirement, he looks forward to continuing his passion for ocean sports, woodworking, and restoring vehicles. Carlos, thank you very much for your 32 years of service to the Chino Valley Fire District, and congratulations on your retirement.
So many of you in here may or may not have been able to attend Carlos's retirement gathering that we just had. And I said a few things. I'm going to repeat some of those today. One key word that I cued in on that our president mentioned was devoted. I don't know anybody that I've ever met in my life that's been more devoted than Carlos. I talked a little bit about what it takes to go through 32 years of this career at a consistent pace, at a high level. That's not easy to do. Life gets around us, and you have your highs and flows, and many times those ups and downs follow your behaviors at work. I've never seen that with Carlos. He's steadily stayed at the top and consistently moved through his career. Carlos was the first opportunity that I had when I was appointed chief to bring on to my team a deputy chief, and he's leaving before me. He tells me I did something wrong. But anyway, Carlos, I appreciate you. I appreciate your commitment to the team. More importantly, I'm really appreciative of your friendship, and you're a man of integrity. I say this all the time because I mean it. Many times you get around people and they actually make you want to be better. I made this statement at his retirement. It's true. Sometimes I can let my language get a little bit beyond where it needs to be. And I find that every time I'm around Carlos, I actually just want to be a better man. Yeah, see? I want to be a better man, and I want to do the right thing. He's a man of faith, and with that being said, it makes you want yourself to be accountable because he's that kind of a person. So I'm happy for Erica, family, Ezekiel. He's coming home, buddy. Hattie, he's coming home to be with you forever. So run him around the house, make him tired, make him feel like he's at work, okay? This is a retirement badge. This is a very special thing to be able to get when you go into retirement. I'm very, very pleased to be able to present this to Carlos. It's his retirement badge. It has a picture here, well, not a picture, but it says retired, and this is his retirement badge. So Carlos, again, you're always welcome back here. This is your home. You've been here for twice as long as I have. We're happy for you, and thank you very much for everything you've given to us to help us be better. So thank you, brother. Ange, should I give?
I have a few presentations, so,
Okay.
yeah.
And then
So, and if I can please invite, we have our Curtis Burton, are you representing the city of Chino today? Yeah. Okay, wonderful, thank you. We could have you.
Well, I've known this gentleman for quite a few years. When he came on back in 1993, I was a police officer with the city of Chino, and like the chief had mentioned, working with this gentleman right here, he was always top-notch. He was always the first in, always the last out. He always impressed all of us on the police side. His work ethic was incredible. So I just always appreciated working with you. I get a call out, fired show up, and I knew if Carlos was on that truck, we're going to be okay. So Carlos, on behalf of the entire Chino city and Chino Valley, we'd like to congratulate you on 32 years of dedicated service to, again, the Chino Valley. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Councilman Burton. Next, if we can please invite up Mayor Bennett.
Carlos, I haven't known you near as long as Curtis has, or a lot of the people that obviously are in this room. But I can say one thing, that forever knowing you has been an absolute privilege on my part. On behalf of the entire city and our city council, we want to thank you so much for your dedicated service and leadership on the executive board here at the fire district. It's wonderful to meet someone and gradually grow into a friendship with you. And not only our friendship, but being fellow brothers in Christ. I know that you're going to have a wonderful retirement. You've earned it. The family earns it. It's such a difficult thing to leave your brothers here at the station, but I know that you've got lots of wonderful days ahead of you and many years. And again, thank you from the bottom of my heart for your friendship and for your dedicated service to the city.
Thank you.
All right.
And next, if we could please have Suzette Dane, she's representing Supervisor Hagman's office.
I told Carlos, don't go earlier, but I know you want him home. So on behalf of Supervisor Kurt Hagman, we thank you for your service, for your commitment, and for your integrity for 32 years. Wow. There's a whole bio here I am not going to read. I'm not going to bore you, but I really wanted to say thank you. And personally, I have not known you nearly as long, only maybe 10 years. But every time I meet Carlos, he has that soft calm all the time. He's the comforting calm in the room. So I thank you. Okay, and I wish you the best. And on behalf of Supervisor Kurt Hagman, may retirement treat you well. Come visit us sometime. And you get to go home. Congratulations.
Hold on one second,
Chief
Carlos.
Williams, yep, yep.
So now we just want to present Carlos with a gift from the board and the management to say thank you. And then following this, we'll give Chief Skibar a chance to say a few words. So what we generally do is we like to go out and we know a little bit about the people we work with, and we try to get them something that really reflects the things that they're interested in their personality. So Carlos, on behalf of management and the board, we'd like to present you with a little gift here. So congratulations.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
I want to give you a chance to say a few words.
Yep, yes, use the podium, please.
All right, thank you. So this is kind of, the way I've structured this is kind of an unofficial staff report. So I think it's not an official staff report, so. Good evening, board, chiefs, staff, family, and friends. It's hard to believe that this moment has come after 32 years with Chino Valley Fire. When I first started in 1990, the district itself was brand new. And this is 1990, I was an explorer here when I first started. I was blessed to work under the very first fire board and the very first fire chief. And since then, with many fire boards and 7 fire chiefs who have each left their mark on this great organization. Looking back, what stands out the most to me are the people. The partnerships we've had with the City of Chino, City of Chino Hills, Chino Police Department, and San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department. They've always been more than professional relationships. They've been friendships rooted in common mission to serve and protect. Inside our walls, the bond with suppression, CRR, support staff, command staff, and the fire board have been the very heartbeat of this district. So together we've upheld the values of faithfulness, integrity, respect, and excellence. One scripture that has been close to me as I reflect on this journey is Proverbs 27:17. As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. And that very verse has been etched into our new podium. And I love that anyone who speaks from it will see these words. It's a reminder for all of us to lead, to speak, to serve in a way that sharpens and strengthens one another. So over these 32 years, I've been honored not only to grow in years, but also in thought and maturity. This career has challenged me, it's stretched me, and has shaped me in many ways that I could not have imagined when I first put on the badge. For that, I am deeply grateful. We are far from perfect, but one thing I believe makes Chino Valley Fire strong is our choice to live out lessons learned instead of settling for lessons recorded. Lessons learned are the hard moments that we study, reflect on, and grow from, so we don't repeat them. Lessons recorded, on the other hand, are those failures or missteps we write down but never truly absorb. And because of that, they keep happening again and again. So my hope for this district is that we remain a place that truly learns, because we are a learning organization. Every call, every challenge, every success sharpens us into something better. As I step into retirement, my encouragement to the organization is simple. Continue to put people before process and process before product. Continue to sharpen one another, to work hard at building stronger ties between labor and leadership, and to embrace new technologies and ideas that will help us serve the community even better in the years ahead. Chino Valley Fire is more than just a fire district. It's a family, it's a community partner, and it's a legacy of service built on relationships. So I'm humbled to be part of that story for the last 32 years. Thank you for the honor of serving alongside you. Now on to my recommendation. Therefore, it is recommended that the Chino Valley Fire District continue to forge ahead with the same courage and commitment that built it from the very beginning. Strengthen the ties between people, keep sharpening one another, learn from the past so we don't so the mistakes are not repeated, and above all, remain faithful to the values of faithfulness, integrity, respect, and excellence. If you do these things, the future of Chino Valley Fire will be even greater than its past. Thank you. And I'm not taking any questions.
Can I just have the board, we're gonna take a photo, but if I can have you guys in, it's just sort of assembled right here, or however you wanna do it. Come on.
Carlos, no allergies today?
Yeah, no.
We'll have
Yep.
Carlos in the middle, and then we'll have you guys
Yes,
flank us.
everyone, yes, definitely.
Can't get out.
Where you going, Greg? Come on.
With just Carlos or with
I think with-
everybody? Just
Yeah,
Carlos? Okay,
we
everybody.
can do everybody, yeah. Andy can go in the back. We can't see you, Andy.
They kicked me out.
Scoot that way now.
All the gold badges on one side.
Okay, hold on a second. Family,
Okay.
come on in here,
Come on
Ezekiel.
in.
You're gonna be the replacement.
I was gonna say, Erica can come here. We can scooch, there we go, perfect, yeah.
Smile. Fire away.
1, 2, 3.
One more, I just want Carlos to be with his
Yes,
family.
with his family,
Yeah.
yes. And scooch to the middle, yeah. Yes.
I just hope it dresses down.
Okay. And with that, we're gonna take a 5-minute break, so feel free to take any pictures or anything. Thank you.
The next item on the agenda is Chino Valley Fire District's website presentation, and the report is by Deputy Chief Jeremy Alt.
Yes, good evening, everyone, and please forgive us. Of course, we're going to have technical difficulties when we try and talk about our technology, so we will be directing your attention to the screen in the back, and at this time, I'd like to call forward and introduce Maciel Ladron de Guevara, our PIO. She's going to walk us through, she's the principal architect of our new website, and we'll have her walk us through her presentation this evening.
And before, if you'd like to turn your chair so you can see, because that's the only, please feel free to do so, you guys, please feel free to do so. We wish, it won't come, yeah.
I'll just stare at Curtis.
All right.
Good evening, President Ramos, Evinger, and members of the board. I'm excited to present to you our newly redesigned website and highlight the improvements that we've made to the website to better serve our community. We began this project focusing on why a redesign was necessary. The goal was to respond directly to user feedback, improve navigation and content discovery, simplify site management for staff, and ultimately create a better user experience. Once we established these goals, we focus on making key information and connections easier to access, starting with the district and its board. The homepage now features a clickable photo of the board of directors. From there, users can access bios, contact information, the YouTube recordings from our board meetings, important district information and resources, and even an interactive by-district elections coverage map. This ensures our community can contact directly with their representatives and engage more easily in local governance. Beyond the board, we also wanted to make it faster for visitors to reach our most requested services. We introduced bold graphic buttons on the homepage for quick access to commonly searched services. This makes the site more intuitive and user-friendly, helping residents find what they need with ease. One of the biggest challenges we're especially proud of is, So I wanted to highlight some of the buttons that we have on there. So we have the submit plans inspections request, and what's important about that is that it's a place where people that need to submit their plans can access quickly, but also we have a link to request the inspection. So it's like a one-stop shop. It also points them to the portal where they can, the permit portal where they can do everything that they need to do, including paying the fees that they need to pay. We also created a centralized payment graphic button for our website, and now all payments can be made in one place. Whether it's inspection fees, abatement costs, special events, CPR and first aid classes, or even renting the community room for Fire Station 62, everything is accessible from a single page. This streamlines the process and makes the experience more convenient for the public. To support all this, we restructured the navigation with clarity and simplicity in mind. So every button and menu was deliberately chosen and labeled to make information easier to find. The global navigation buttons that we selected were the About Us services, Community Risk Reduction, and Community Relations. And while these front-facing improvements are critical, one of the most significant updates happens behind the scenes. Website management is now in our hands. We now have full internal control of the site. That means our team can update pages, adjust dates, and add new content, and publish changes in real time, all without relying on outside support. This keeps our website timely, accurate, and responsive to both internal needs and the public. In short, every improvement we made was designed with the community in mind. With this redesign, we've created a more accessible, engaging, and efficient website that highlights our board, improves service delivery, and gives us the tools to manage it effectively moving forward. And that concludes my presentation, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Okay, thank you very much for that presentation.
Thank you.
And do we have any questions?
Questions, just thank you.
Thank
Going in there myself, it's much easier to use. I appreciate the effort and the good work, so thank you.
Thank you.
I only have a real quick question. Is it fully populated with all of our forms and stuff, or was it all seamlessly transferred over? Is that something we have to, you guys have to continually put stuff in?
So all the forms that were on the previous website are on this website, and we're able to create new forms if needed and update those as needed as well.
Very good job, thank you.
So I do have a question about,
Oh, you said no.
I know I did, but you know how that goes. So like, we had the fire yesterday or 2 days ago. So is that something that you can update the website from the field? And to notify the community, because Chino Hills, I know their city website says go to the fire district website for updates.
Okay.
So if we're not updating our website, then what they're saying isn't helping.
So we do have the ability to do emergency alerts on the website. What we've done historically during emergency incidents is to direct people to our social media.
Okay.
And I believe that there's actually a section that is either through what they call an RSS feed that updates the social media on our website as well.
That's correct. There's a feed right on our homepage that people can access.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next item on our agenda is public communications. This is the time and place for the general public to address the Board of Directors about subjects that do not appear elsewhere on the agenda. The public may address items on the agenda at the time addressed by the board. Due to board policy and Brown Act requirements, action may not be taken on any issue not on the agenda. When you address the board, please state your name and address prior to making your remarks, and please limit your comments to 3 minutes. There are no written requests to speak on public communications. Is there anyone present who would like to address the board at this time? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to the liaison reports to the fire district. We invite Suzette Dang from San Bernardino County, 4th District, Kurt Hagman's office to please come forward.
Good evening, President Ramos from Evanger, President Krieger, Directors Chief Williams, Deputy Chief, staff, and audience members. My name is Suzette Dang with your County Supervisor Kurt Hagman's office. It's a pleasure to be here, and congratulations again to all of our honorees tonight. Colors, congratulations on your retirement. Supervisor Hagman's next document shredding event is coming up. It will be Saturday, September 27th at Upland Memorial Park, located 1100 East Foothill Boulevard in Upland, between 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., or until the shredding truck reaches capacity. It is limited to 3 standard-sized filing boxes of documents per vehicle. It is free for all San Bernardino County residents only. Pre-registration is recommended through eventbrite.com, and that's hagmanshred0925.eventbrite.com. And you can always call our office if you need assistance at 909-465-5265. And as always, we are available for any questions or any county-related services. So thank you and good night.
Thank you. Next, we invite Mayor Pro Tem Curtis Burton from the City of Chino.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's so good to see all of you, and I know all of you, it seems like, and it's just so nice to be able to come in this totally different venue and to be able to speak to you in a different kind of capacity. Couple of things going on right now with the city. First of all, I'd like to thank the Chino Valley Fire District for your support and participation during last weekend's Saturday Night Fights boxing exhibition. Our first ever Battle of the Badges, or Guns and Hoses, whatever you'd like to call it, was a sold-out success. Not only did it bring the community together, but it also inspired our youth to stay active in and also out of the ring. This could not have happened without the partnership of our police officers and our firefighters. So thank you very much, all of you that did come out and participate. What a great time that was. The energy in the room, if you were there, you felt it, you saw it. It was absolutely amazing. We just really appreciate it. I know that the Boxing Foundation raised quite a substantial amount of money, which they absolutely needed. And we're hoping that this is just the first of many of those Battle of the Badges to come down the line with our boxing. I'd love to see both police chief and the fire chief out there.
I'm here to serve, so you just let Chief Menson know that I'm here to serve.
You all heard it, right? You all heard it. I'd also like to invite you all to our annual Chino Cares Emergency Preparedness Fair happening this Saturday, September 13th from 9 a.m. to noon at the Chino Police Department. Our Emergency Preparedness Fair is a fun, family-friendly event featuring emergency prep demonstrations, touch a truck, and a lot of fun activities. The Chino Cares Emergency Preparedness Fair is a collaboration between the City of Chino, the Chino Police Department, and also the Chino Valley Fire District. To learn more, go to the City of Chino's website. Next, the City of Chino is hosting the second annual Inclusion Community Celebration on Saturday, September 27th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Neighborhood Activity Center located at 5201 D Street. The Inclusion Community Celebration is a one-of-a-kind block party tailor-made for Chino Valley's special needs and neurodiverse communities. The celebration will feature inflatable bouncers, a live DJ, lunch provided by the Chino Police Officers Association, skateboarding lessons, free admission to the Chino Youth Museum, and a lot more. If you've never been to something like this, I encourage you to go over and visit. What an incredible event to get these kids involved. They're just not little kids. They're semi-adults as well. And, you know, to have something tailor-made just for them and their environment is something that they absolutely love. And you can see they just gravitate toward it. And then finally, you all are invited to the grand opening of Stuvey Family Park, Chino's newest park, on Saturday, September 20th at 9 o'clock in the morning. The Stuvey Family Park, named after one of Chino's most prominent dairy families, will feature pickleball courts, basketball courts, and acres of green space for the entire community to enjoy. I encourage you to join us as we open the second public park in Chino this year. The Stuvey Family Park is located at 16050 East Preserve Loop. Please come down and join us if you're able to do it. And one last thing, Carlos, congratulations. Long overdue. You should have probably retired a couple years ago, but I know you stuck around. You know, Godspeed, my friend. Thank you very much.
Councilmember Burt, yeah,
What was the date of the Stewie Family Park?
we missed that.
9/20?
Okay.
It is September 20th
Thank you.
at 9 o'clock in the morning,
Thank you.
which is a Saturday.
Thank you.
Can I mark you down?
Yes.
Okay, you heard it. Thank you very much.
Next, we invite Mayor Art Bennett from the City of Chino Hills.
It's someplace previously I come to.
And next, President Mark Bozak, Chino Valley Fire Foundation.
Good evening, members of the board, President Ramos Evinger, executive staff, Chief Dr. Skibar, congratulations. So this is give my report for the Fire Foundation. I missed last month, so it's a little long, but I'll try to get through it here. We did do a donation. We were reached out by the Chino Hope Program through the Chino Valley School District for a young lady who was graduating, who was an exemplary student and needed assistance moving to Washington for her new adventure in college. And we made a monetary donation and helped her out to get her over there. Also, we did we didn't do the fundraiser, I apologize. Roscoe's did a fundraiser for Robbie, which in June 2023, we ran on a young male who drowned in a swimming pool, and Engine 5 was on that call. And Roscoe's did a fundraiser for the family, and we also made a monetary donation for that. Also, the Battle of the Badges, as was mentioned before, the foundation made some ticket purchases for that, and it was well attended by the Chino Valley Fire and Chino PD, which was amazing. It was an amazing event, and we look forward to next year's event and helping whatever we can do to help out. And just so you know, we bought 77 tickets, and every single ticket was accounted for. Everybody used those tickets, so. And then save the date. Make a Child Smile is going to be December 10th on a Wednesday, and we'll be mailing invites and emails to help support the event for some donations. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we invite Chair Charlie Blank, Fire Safe Council.
Nothing, thank you.
And that concludes our liaison reports. The next item on the agenda is the consent calendar.
Second, trying to. Okay, do we have any public comment on the consent calendar?
We have no request to speak on the consent calendar.
If any board member wishes to pull an item on the consent calendar for discussion, please state the item number you'd like to pull. Okay, being none, I'd like to request a motion. I have a motion to approve, and I have a second. So I had a motion from Director Howie, and then a second from Romaine. Okay, and all in favor? Aye. None opposed. Passes 5-0.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is new business. Item number 7, ordinance number 2025-02, adopting with local amendments the California Fire Code and the 2025 California Wildland Urban Interface Code. The purpose of this report is for the Board of Directors to review, introduce, and conduct a first reading by title only of ordinance number 2025-02, adopting the 2025 California Fire Code based on the 2024 International Fire Code and the 2025 California Wildland Urban Interface Code based on the 2024 International Wildland Urban Interface Code with local amendments. The report tonight is by Fire Marshal Danielle O'Toole.
Good evening, President Ramos-Avenger and members of the board. Title 24 of the California Code of Regulations is generally adopted every 3 years and is applicable to all occupancies throughout the state. Title 24 includes the fire code, and this new cycle, it introduces the Wildland Urban Interface, or WUI code. The Building Standards Commission adopts the majority of the 2024 international codes and makes amendments giving us the 2025 California codes. Local jurisdictions can adopt the state codes without making changes, or they can adopt new local amendments or re-adopt their existing local amendments. Any local amendments affecting building standards must be more restrictive and be based on local conditions. New for this code cycle is the 2025 California WUI code based on the 2024 International Code, which is now Part 7 of Title 24. Prior to the standalone code, the provisions outlined in the WUI code were separated into other parts, such as Chapter 7A of the Building Code, Chapter 49 of the Fire Code, as well as the Public Resource Code and Title 14. Now all these various provisions are provided into one document to ensure the end user a streamlined review. The district's local adoption process includes updated local regulations to both the Fire Code and the WUI code, while ensuring continuous fire and life safety regulations remain in place. Attached to the staff report is a red-line copy of Ordinance 2025-02, outlining all the proposed updates to our current ordinance. The local amendments are identified with italicized text. The proposed amendments clarify specific requirements for us as a district and are not new to what has previously been adopted and enforced by our agency. Some of the significant changes include Chapter 1, which is language that provides clarification for administrative requirements and enforcement. Chapter 3 code sections were those that were not adopted by the state, which include ignition and sources and open burning. Chapter 9, language that provides a point of reference for staff and businesses to easily identify maintenance and inspection frequencies for fire and life safety systems. Chapter 49, which was language that was deleted and reapplied to Chapter 6 of the WUI Code. Amendments to the 2005 Fire Code and WUI Code are being proposed to maintain the overall current level of safety and to clarify existing requirements within the district. The majority of the amendments will allow the fire district to properly address fire hazards within our jurisdiction. The 2025 California Fire Code and California WUI Code will become effective statewide on January 1st, 2026. And I do apologize because there was a typo on the adoption schedule that was attached to your staff report. The proposed ordinance has been reviewed and approved by our legal counsel and will be advertised as required by law. Our local building officials for the city of Chino, Chino Hills, and the county have been provided the proposed ordinance to allow them sufficient time for review and comment. As part of the adoption process, we are required to hold a public hearing prior to the adoption of the ordinance and advertise that in accordance with law. The ordinance is also required by state regulation to be ratified by our cities and our county. So the new ordinance will be presented to their city councils and the Board of Supervisor when they go through their local adoption process after we've adopted it. And once ratified, the ordinance will be filed with the State Department of Housing and Community Development. It is recommended that the Board of Directors review, introduce, and conduct a first reading of ordinance number 2025-02, adopting the 2025 California Fire Code based on the 2024 International Fire Code and the 2025 California Wildland Urban Interface Code based on the 2024 California Wildland Urban Interface Code with local amendments. Approve waiving the reading of the entire ordinance and read the ordinance by title only. Advise the public that a complete copy of the ordinance is available for public inspection at Fire District Headquarters, and set a public hearing for October 8th, 2025 during the second reading of ordinance number 2025-02, and direct staff to provide public notice as required by law.
Okay, thank you very much for that report. Do we have any requests to speak on this item?
We have no request to speak on this item.
Okay, all right. This is a time for the board to comment. Please ask your questions when I call your name. Director Vermeen, would you like to start?
Well, I don't have anything specific because it's really light reading as you glance through it. I think it's important for the public to remember if they find things in this code that come up, is that most of these rules have come about because of tragedy or a loss of life or something. So they're though they might be inconvenient, they're very necessary. So thank you for the bringing it forward and only reading it by title only. I agree with that. Thanks.
Director Luke?
Yeah, I read through as much of this as I could, and I did have a few questions, but I appreciate the input I've received earlier from the chief. Clarified a few things I was questioning, and I'm just hats off to whoever had to do all this work and put this together. This is quite a lot of work, so thank you.
Okay, Director Howie.
Yeah, I read through a lot of insurance stuff, but this is pretty interesting too.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of redlining, so like you said, somebody must have did a lot of work in changing it, so that's all, that's my only comments. Thank you for enlightening us, thank you.
Vice President Krieger.
Always great to have you with us.
Okay, thank you very much for the report and for the work that was put into this. At this time, I would like to request a motion. Okay.
Move to approve.
Okay, so I have a motion on the table and a second.
Second.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't hear. Yeah. So I have a motion, I'm sorry. I have a motion from Director Luth and a second from Vice President Krieger. All in favor?
Board President, if we could please read the title of the ordinance into the record.
Okay, all right, thank you. I will now read the title of the ordinance for the record. If I just stay on task on here, it would be great. So, ordinance number 2025-02. An ordinance of the Chino Valley Independent Fire District adopting by reference and amending the 2025 edition of the California Fire Code and the 2025 California Wildland Urban Interface Code with errata and the 2024 International Fire Code and the 2024 International Wildland Urban Interface Code, regulating and governing the safeguarding of life and property from fire and explosion hazardous materials and from conditions hazardous to life or property in the occupancy of buildings and premises, safeguarding of life and property from wildfire within areas designated as high or very high fire hazardous severity zones, providing for insurance of permits and collection of fees, and repealing Fire Code Ordinance number 2022-03 of the Chino Valley Fire District. I would now request a voice vote. So, okay, so Director Vermain.
Aye.
Director Luth.
Yes.
Director Howie,
Aye.
Vice President Krieger,
Yes.
and myself, aye. Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. The next item.
Angela, thank you for my wonderful script that I need to stay on. Huh?
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is item number 8, resolution number 2025-18, approving the addition of the fiscal year 2024-25 expenditure items not completed as of June 30th, 2025, to the fiscal year 2025-26 amended budget as budget amendment number 2. And the report tonight is by Finance Director Mark Shaker.
Thank you. The item before you tonight is our annual carry forward resolution. This item was presented to the Finance Committee earlier this month and is now in front of the full board for your consideration. And we do this every year. Just a few months ago, we passed the 25-26 budget. Shortly after that, we start wrapping up year end and closing out the year. And kind of in tandem with that process is looking at our previous budget and trying to figure out what projects would be good candidates for this carry forward. And there's quite a few of them, and really the highlight of them is mostly apparatus and apparatus related equipment. As you know, we're experiencing a lot of long build-out times for apparatus, and those build-out times keep getting longer and longer, and the costs keep going higher and higher. Even when we get close to the anticipated delivery date, we still experience delays, sometimes in the months. And while we previously expected to take delivery of the Spartan as well as the TDA in 24-25, that got pushed over into this fiscal year. So you'll see on this list a total of $4.5 million of items to be carried forward. The most significant of those will be the Pierce TDA for $1.9 million. The Spartan Type 1 for $1.1 million, and the Station 68 construction management contract for $1 million. There's also some loose equipment for the apparatus. The TDA was actually paid for just recently, so that expense will hit this fiscal year, and that's why it's important to carry forward these items so that the budget can match the expense for the year. Otherwise, our auditors won't be very happy. Other than that, that's the end of my report.
Okay, all right, thank you very much for that report. Did we have any requests to speak on this item?
We have no request to speak on this item.
Okay, all right, this is the time for the board to comment. Please ask your questions when I call your name. And I'll go ahead and I'll start with, actually I'll start with, how about you, Director Howie? I'm gonna
thank you.
change it up.
I don't really have any questions. It's just, these these expenses get tossed around and we just have to put the money out there, so that's all I have.
Okay, all right, and Director Romaine?
No, I told him I would have a lot of questions, and but I don't. It's a necessary function, like you said, to keep our auditors happy, and so thank you, well done.
All right, Director Luth?
No questions.
Okay, all right, now Vice President Krieger.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Mark, and it's just moving items from one column to another, one year to another in the budgetary thing, so it's simple stuff. Thank you.
Correct.
Yes, yeah, and we discussed this in finance at length, so thank you again for the time and for the report. And with that, at this time, I would like to request a motion.
I'll move it.
Okay, I have a motion to approve. I have a motion and a second. And so the motion was Vice President Krieger, and then the second was Director Howie. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is item number 9, Chino Valley Fire District Section 115 Trust Annual Report. The purpose is to review, discuss, and approve the 2024-25 annual report for the Section 115 Trust, and the report is by Finance Director Mark Shaker.
Thank you again. It's that time of the year where we get to review the Section 115 Trust Annual Report and go over the performance for the year. We're lucky enough to have Mallory Sampson for PFM, who will give a presentation on the report, so I won't bore you guys. Thank you, Mallory, for being here, and we look forward to your report.
Thank you. I was about to say I don't look like Mark. So. Thanks for having me, everyone. President Ramos Evinger, Vice President, Board of Directors, Chief, Deputy Chiefs, and Fire Chiefs. Thanks for having me. I always love coming to see you guys. So I'm going to go over a brief market update. We'll talk a little bit about the economy, and then we'll touch on the portfolio performance as of the end of June. I have some updated numbers since then. They are preliminary, and of course, I'm happy to go over any questions that you may have. So I believe you have the report in front of you. We've got some small numbers we're going to be looking at, but I'm happy to dig in. So just as a reminder, what we're doing here, the purpose of these funds is to provide funding for retirement benefits. The assets are invested in a 60-40 portfolio, so 60% stock, 40% fixed income, and the goal is to achieve a 5.5% return rate over 5 years or longer. Looking at a 60-40 portfolio and using our capital market assumptions, which are updated every year, we are expecting that asset allocation to perform around 6.68% over the next 5 years, and over the next 30 years, 6.74%. Now, this is, like I mentioned, updated every year. It's an iterative process, so as those numbers change and the required return rate, if that ever change, we will be flexible to that as well.
Member, can I ask you a quick question?
Yes, sir.
Do most agencies use a 60-40 split in this manner? Is that pretty standard?
Yeah, it's moderate, yeah. Thank you for the question. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what we've seen in the economy. So high level, I think if we think about the last year, what's going to come top of mind are a lot of the policy changes that we've read about in the news, and then the market volatility associated with those policy changes. If you peel back those headlines, however, what you will find is overall an economy that's relatively resilient. We've seen some cracks come in, a little bit in the labor market. You may have been reading about that in the news. Inflation's a little bit slower to get to that 2% target, but largely our expectations for a short-coming recession are very low. The U.S. consumer, like I said, is proving very resilient. Other things you may have been hearing about is the dominance in the U.S. stock market of those big tech names, the Magnificent Seven, very growth-oriented. That's been driving the U.S. stock market and has impacted your portfolio in a positive way, but certainly that space of the market has gotten a little bit concentrated as those names continue to get larger around excitement around AI. I know we've all read about that. Last is a lot of excitement around what the Fed is going to do next. If you remember at the end of this last year, they cut interest rates a few times. They've held steady through 2025 and are largely expected to cut at their meeting next week and begin a rate cut cycle. So let's dig in a little bit deeper. So I love this graph because it's incredibly busy. This is showing you just a snapshot of the effective tariff rate expected between February 3rd and July 8th. I mentioned some of those policy changes. This is just up until July 8th. Those things have changed since then. But my takeaway here for you is more of the rate of change that investors and businesses have had to absorb while they're trying to plan out for the next year or 2 years from a business perspective. So it gives you a good visual of the level of uncertainty that has been overlying the general investment market. Take a look at the column to the right. You'll see other areas of uncertainty that I'm certain you've read about that have kind of driven market changes this last year. We talked about some of the hard numbers. On the left is inflation. And what you will notice is from our peak coming out of COVID, inflation has continued to come down, getting closer to that 2% target. We do not have inflation numbers that are fully absorbing tariff increases because there have been pauses and inventories were built up. So those numbers aren't connecting yet. We're seeing a few starting to connect, increase in cars, increase in furnishings, but we still haven't fully grasped that. You see that light blue box? That is potential expected kind of directions that inflation could take. So there's a little bit of tension there. And then on the right-hand side, you'll see the unemployment rate. So kind of coming out of COVID, we've been close to full employment, kind of kicking around 4.1, 4.3. It's increased just slightly. Right now, the labor market's really interesting. There's some supply and demand problems. On the supply side, we've seen the participation rate, so that's the people who are actively out searching for a job, we've seen that number come down. That could be because the population is aging, that could be changes to immigration policy, people stepping out of the workforce. On the demand side, we see businesses that aren't sure what the next year looks like. Do they need to change their supply chains? Do they need to start building warehouses in the United States? And so there, we've seen some tension, and we've seen a corresponding reduction in the month-over-month jobs created. And it's been getting some news if you've been following it. So how is this all kind of pieced together from an overall market return? So what I love about this page is it goes all the way back to COVID. So that top dark blue line, that's a good barometer for the US stock market. So that's the Russell 3000 largest stocks in the market. See that large dip down? That is Liberation Day. So April 8th is when the market kind of hit the floor. It was down 15.5%. You can see it's since recovered kind of on that far end. We're looking at the most recent figures there. Next, the yellow line is Europe. You can see how they've been performing. Then we've got Japan, emerging markets, and then China is in green. Just anecdotally, when I was looking at this, what I think is interesting is if you just look at China, you'll see they really have not fully recovered since coming out of the pandemic. I know we've all read about that, but it's interesting to just kind of see it on a chart. So let's take a look at just how the numbers have looked specifically for the last year. Now, this is not your portfolio. These are different market indices, so you can get an idea of where the different areas of the market are performing. So this in the 1 year, right? So we're looking, this is June going back 12 months, which is the time period we're looking at for you guys. Take a look at the domestic equity column, the S&P 500, the 500 largest stocks in the US market. Next is the Russell 3000. I mentioned that's the 3,000 largest stocks in the market. You'll see the 1 year numbers, 15%, 15%, 15%. So really, really strong. The drivers that we've been seeing in that asset class are growth companies versus value companies. So when you think about growth, think about companies that are working to get their share price higher versus value companies that are working to increase their dividends. So like think about Coca-Cola would be a good value company versus Apple would be a good growth company. So in the US stock market, what's really been driving are the really large growth companies, Magnificent Seven, a lot of excitement around AI. Then take a look at international equity. The 1 year numbers are also phenomenal. 17% for the all US, all international, not including the United States. MSCI EAFE is developed markets, and then emerging markets, you know what that is. A couple of drivers here, but the largest driver actually has to do with the US dollar. So think about when you guys are traveling, you're worried about the exchange rate. Same thing with international currencies. When you're translating international currencies to US dollar, where the US dollar is makes a difference. The US dollar this last year has weakened pretty substantially. At the end of last year, it went up, and so far in 2025 it's gone down, which has been great for your international equity exposure. Then we've got fixed income. You can see also strong. Bloomberg Ag is a good barometer of the U.S. Bond market. And then the global Ag, right? So just blow it out a little bit further. We are in a rate cutting cycle, although it's been extended, right? So the end of last year, the Fed cut rates 3 times, and they've been holding on, and then we expect them to cut next week. Now, when we cut interest rates, those go down, the value of the underlying bonds goes up. So that's been helpful for your portfolio. And at the same time, we're still in that high interest rate environment. Remember, we all know how high mortgage rates are right now, or auto loans. And so you guys are benefiting from those higher coupon payments. So also largely positive. So I'm going to give you guys just a couple quick visuals so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. There's a lot on this page, but take a look at the far pie chart. This is looking at that Russell 3000 that I mentioned just a second ago. And I'd like to draw your eye to the orange section. That's the Magnificent Seven. It makes up 27%. So if we're looking at the Russell 3000, which is about 92% of all of the US stock market, 27% are those 7 names. So you can really see how those names are impacting overall returns. Yeah, it is wild. Next page just gives you a nice visual of what we've seen with the US dollar. So you could see at the end of last year, it went up. A lot of that was triggered with the election, so we went up, and then since the end of since 2025 began, we've continued to come down. It's recovered a little bit, but not substantially, so we're still seeing very strong returns in the international equity space. Okay, let's talk about performance. So this is as of the end of June. Let's take a look in the top left-hand corner. We've got the quarter-to-date return of 7.27. The number below is the benchmark, so it's important to kind of keep an eye on that from a judgment perspective, to just see where your portfolio lands, kind of a standard 60-40. So kind of, I would consider that flat with the benchmark, but on an absolute basis, solid returns. Move to the 1-year figure, 11.74, a little bit underperformance against the benchmark. We'll talk about that. We got the CalPERS numbers for that same time period. They're at 11.60. So you guys are outperformed there, which is positive. Continue looking to the right. You see your since inception, since 2017. Right around 7% return. So you're hitting that 5.5% required return rate, you're beating your benchmark, and at least over the 1 year, you've outperformed CalPERS. So kind of largely positive across the board. So let's take a look in at bottom right hand. You can see what the overall allocation looks like. The big drivers of that performance, like we talked about, domestic equity, international equity, fixed income certainly helped, but it was not as exciting as domestic and international. The market value as of the end of June, as you can see, is $13.5 million. As of, today's Wednesday, I think, as of the 9th, you guys were at 13.9 million, so right around 14 million. So we've seen some growth since the end of June. And if we're looking June 2024 to June 2025, you guys are positive about 1.4 million, just in dollar terms from a growth perspective. And I mentioned that I have some preliminary numbers kind of looking since June. So if we're looking at a standard 60-40 portfolio, similar to what you have, year to date, it's coming in around 10.5%. Again, the markets can always change, but that's kind of where we are as of right now. Okay, so let's talk about that 1 year underperformance, and then I promise I'll stop talking at you guys. So one of the things that you pay us to do is to take a look at the overall asset allocation and make changes based off of what's happening in the marketplace. This is a list of recent changes. Some are kind of more interesting than others, but since we last spoke at the end of last year, one move that we made was to lean into real estate by about 2% and lean away from emerging markets by about 2%. That was in anticipation of the Fed cutting interest rates. We unwound that trade in February. Then, kind of most interesting is around Liberation Day. So whenever the market kind of makes a big shift, you have the decision, do you rebalance to your target allocation? Do you hold underweight? Or do you buy into the dip? Or do you sell, right? So lots and lots of options. Our investment committee, when the market went down, a 60-40 was down about 5.5%. Remember, the overall U.S. stock market was down about 15.5%. We made the decision to hold that underweight. The reason why is we did not think the markets had fully absorbed all of the impacts of the tariffs. So we took the conservative approach, held that underweight. You guys were about 3% underweight equity, 3% overweight fixed income, and we held that until the middle of July. So I'm going to go back. The 1 year, you see the benchmark performance. You guys underperformed. That holding on that conservative, that 3% underweight, although you had an absolute very positive return, that's where that underperformance came in. We generally lean a little bit more conservative than other investors. So right now, that 60-40 allocation is in line with your target. So we aren't taking any active leans left or right. You do have a slight lean towards investment grade credit. And and that is because of this page here. So this is a lovely heat map giving us an idea of what we think over the next 6 to 12 months. So green is good, red is bad. You'll notice the top 6 boxes are neutral. These are neutral intentionally because there is tension on either side. So think about the labor market example I gave. There's opportunity. Overall, we think the labor market is pretty strong, but there certainly are risks that are coming through. Think about inflation numbers continuing to come down, but we're still not totally sure what's happening with tariffs, and the same with economic growth. Think about the consumer spending. Just to give you just a quick, some facts, over the last 5 years, the median home price has increased by 50% in the United States, and groceries over the last 5 years have increased by 27%. So certainly the US consumer is feeling the pinch. The question is, how much can they continue spending as those tariffs are passed down? I promise I'm almost done. So bottom left, corporate fundamentals is slightly positive. That is because the companies are continuing to be successful. Think about the things that you're reading about the Magnificent Seven. Think about the hyperscalers. So there's billions and billions of dollars being spent on AI, and they're not taking out loans. They are very successful. They're consistently beating their earnings per share. They've got strong orders. However, at the same time, they've gotten quite expensive. So you see valuations are slightly negative. And then lastly, you'll see policy risks are negative. So until we get some policy uncertainty, businesses are going to be a little cautious of where they're investing, where they're hiring, and where they're spending. And hopefully that clarity comes soon and kind of we can continue on our growth trajectory. Let me pause there and see if you guys have any questions.
No? Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for that
Excuse me,
report. Actually,
I do have a
we do have a question.
And I was gonna ask this to Mark, but thank you for indicating the dollar amount that we picked up in the last 12 months as far as the interest. I was kind of shocked because we've been trying to put money into the 115 trust to build that account up for the retirement fund.
Yep.
But I'm just amazed that we were able to make 1.4 million in the last 12 months and pick up another 400,000. So we're at 13.9 now.
Yep.
So we're about is it marked about 1.7 or 1.8 million
1.8.
that our trust has increased in the last year. That's phenomenal.
That's amazing.
I mean, we didn't put any money into the trust last year, but basically we did with the interest that we made. So thank you for pointing that out to us.
And the only thing I'll add to that, you're absolutely correct, and I think the key takeaway here is a reminder that it's a moderate portfolio. This portfolio is not incredibly aggressive. This is kind of very, from a safety perspective, it's middle of the road, and so it's amazing that the performance has been how it has been, because that risk-adjusted return is what's really important. Any other?
Okay,
Okay.
no one else?
Thanks.
Thank
Okay.
you.
All right, thank you again for the presentation this evening. At this time, I'd like to request a motion.
I'd like to make a motion.
Okay, so I have a motion. You want a second?
I'll second.
Okay, so I have a motion from Romaine and a second from Director Howie. And all in favor?
Aye.
Passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next we have Fire Chief comments. Chief Williams, do you have any comments this evening?
I have a couple, thank you. Under Board Activities and Public Relations, August 24th through the 27th, myself with board members attended the CSDA conference in Monterey. August 28th, staff and I attended the Chino Valley Chamber of Commerce Leadership Collaborative, where our very own Rita Pro graduated from the program, and I think this is the third year running that we've had someone from the Chino Valley Fire District participate in the program. So August 29th, we attended a meet and greet and a slight visit with Congresswoman Young Kim, myself, Deputy Chief Alt, and President and Vice President of the board, down to our new Fire Station 68 property. And it was a great meeting and visit. September 2nd, we had our Finance Committee meeting. Also on September 2nd, we did the State of the District filming,
On September 6th, as already mentioned, we did the Chino Boxing Club event between Chino Valley Fire and CPD. Under Human Resource Update, we just brought on a new IT intern, Kaya McMath. Turns out I know her dad. He was a previous Redlands, was he a captain or chief? The captain. So it's nice to have somebody in the fire family still producing young people that have an interest in the fire service that aren't necessarily firefighters. And she's working towards her degree in cybersecurity from Western Governors University. We currently are in open enrollment for district employees. It runs from September 15th through October 10th, and it's for dental and flexible spending. We also are putting together a fire engineer promotional testing. We'll start the week of September 29th. Under personnel development activities, we have an engineers prep academy sessions that are scheduled for September 10th, 12th, and 18th. These sessions are crucial for the continued preparation of our personnel for the upcoming promotional opportunity of fire engineer. Under organizational items of interest, for the month of October, Chino Valley Fire, after many years, has decided we were going to honor and recognize breast cancer awareness for the month of October, and we have a new patch that I'd like to share with anybody here. So you'll see our fire personnel walking around. It'll look something like that. So I know we've been talking about this for quite some years, and the fire district did support all of our personnel, and we hope that most will participate and wear a patch on their uniform. Other items of interest, we have Medic Truck 61, Medic Truck 61 proudly represented the Chino Valley Fire as part of the flag garrison for the LA Sheriff's Detective Victor Lemus. The memorial service was at Calvary Chapel, honoring the life and service. So for those of you that don't know, we were reached out to by our law enforcement partners of LA County Fire, and if you sometimes will see a truck at a funeral service with the ladder elevated and a flag hanging from it, and typically it takes two truck companies to share that responsibility. So we appreciate their invitation, and we certainly stepped up. We've teamed up with On Duty Health, Quest Diagnostics, and Grail Incorporated to offer our members a comprehensive process. This includes cancer screening, cardiovascular health, and more. We're really excited about this partnership, and we'll ensure our members receive thorough health evaluations from now into the future. I also want to mention that we did receive a thank you letter, and if you can take a look up on the screen, that's our very newest fire truck. It's now in district being outfitted, not in service just yet. There's a little bit of work to do, but I did want to read this letter for the board of directors. I thought it was a nice touch from Pierce. It says, basically on behalf of all employees at Pierce Manufacturing, I would like to thank the Chino Valley Fire District for your recent purchase. Everyone at Pierce is committed to providing you and your firefighters with the finest and safest apparatus available, from engineers who design it to the skilled craftspeople who build it. Please extend our sincere thanks to everyone who was involved in the purchase. We are extremely proud of the apparatus we built for your department, and sincerely hope that you are too. So thank you to Pierce, and thank you to our apparatus committee and anybody who had a role in that, whether it be finance, whether it be the deputy chiefs or our apparatus committee, who put the time in to make sure that we spec things out and put them together for the benefit of our community. Under emergency response and support, the district provided mutual aid throughout the state, including the Gifford, Pickett, Dillon, Blue Complex, Little, and Garnett fires. So right there you can see it's a busy fire season already. Those are at least 5 fires that we've sent resources out to, and we'll continue talking to the board past this board meeting about other needs we have related to apparatus. Under upcoming meetings and events, September 11th Memorial will be tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. at Fire Station 66. So we invite all community members and anybody who wants to attend to honor those fallen firefighters from the September 11th event. On September 13th, we have the Emergency Preparedness Fair at Chino Police Department. On September 17th, the State of the County at the Ontario Convention Center. On September 18th, the Emergency Preparedness Workshop for the City of Chino Hills, and that one will be at 6 p.m. And then finally, September 25th, Chino Valley Chamber of Commerce is hosting an annual women's conference, and I would like to make the board aware that I believe we're just maybe at about 100% participation from our organization. I think it may be one that's still deciding, but we did make that opportunity available to all the women that serve the fire district to be able to attend that. I think it's a good chance for them to be around other women, to be encouraged, to get some leadership, and basically that's all I have for you.
All right, thank you very much, Chief. This is the time for the board to comment. Please provide comments when I call your name. Director Romaine, would you like to get started?
All right. Thank you for that report, Chief. I'll try to match it. First off, I'd like to congratulate Leslie Parham for her 10 years, Dawn for her 20 years, which 20 years in an organization is quite an achievement. And finally, the Doctor of Love, Carlos Skibar, with 32 years. So I attended your other event on Friday, and I can honestly say, being in the fire service, basically being around it my whole life, I have had very few events that were that attended and that many people speak so well of you. So it's a testament to the legacy you left, and you should be proud of what you accomplished. So congratulations, and go on to the future knowing with no regrets that you accomplished quite a lot. So on other stuff, I attended the grand opening of Toast Geek. A few of the other board members were here, and that was it's a healthy fast food type thing, but it's all healthy, so that was very good. Had a one-on-one with the chief, a couple county board of supervisors meetings, which are always entertaining. I recommend anybody to at least watch one in your lifetime, and you'll
Just the public comment part.
Yeah. And then Director Krieger and I attended, not to steal his, but the Orange County Credit Union grand opening, which turned out to be a really, it's why we do these things. Not only do we interact with the community and stuff, but then we had senators and come up to us and kind of forget everything else that was going on and just engage with us on some stuff. So we were able to represent the district well, and it's you never know when those opportunities are going to arise, and it worked out really well. I also got to attend the CSDA conference with everybody here and the chief, and that was my first one. It was quite the event, and I had a great time. Just this last Saturday, I got to go to pause at the park while there was a park opening in Chino Hills, and then I went to pause in the park and got voluntold to be a judge for small dog races, fashion show, and all the other great events. So that was quite interesting. And then that Saturday, Battle of the Badges. What can we say? I think even though 2 belts were given out, there was really 1 belt that was won, and it was a great event. The union was there cooking. The Fire Foundation was there. I mean, it was phenomenal, and it was really great to be a part of. So, and that concludes my stuff.
Okay, thank you very much. Director Luth?
Yeah, same thing, a lot of the same comments. Congratulations to Leslie and to Don for their years of service. I'll get back to Carlos. In past month, had one-on-one with the chief, airport commission. They actually did meet this time, so I attended that one. The CSDA conference, our filming, Chino council meeting, Carlos's retirement, and the boxing event. The excitement in that room was just incredible. I wore the shirt that they were offered, they had it for sale, so I wore that today to Kiwanis. We have several PD members in our club, and I made comment about the event and how well it went and everything, and how, yeah, they both got a belt, but we all know better, and usually there's a lot of banter back and forth between fire and PD at those meetings. They were quiet. They had nothing to say, not a word. So well done, man. Phil represented well. Everybody turned out. That was impressive. He came out. Here comes the whole it was just such an impressive showing and just so much fun. So, yeah, I'm so glad we did that. I hope he's feeling good. He looked like he could go several more rounds, but I'm glad it was, nobody got hurt. Carlos, your event, so well done by whoever put that, whatever the team is that puts that stuff together. You guys did a great job in recognizing Carlos. Carlos, you did a tremendous job. Your words, the podium, the story behind that, phenomenal. Just so wish you all the best. Just, again, just a wonderful event. So glad I was able to attend it, and look forward to future retirements. The way this district does them, the way you guys treat those who retire, the number of retirees that were there is phenomenal. Just a testament to this district and the effort to truly act and behave and be a family. It's not just words, it really is true here. So, Carlos, best of luck to you in the future. Look forward to seeing you around town, and hope all goes well. Take care of those kids. You're gonna have your hands full of that little one. Yeah. Anyway, that's the end of my comments. Thank you.
Okay, all right, Director Howie.
Okay, thank you. I see some long faces out there, so I'll try to keep my comments brief.
For mine.
And Harvey, you're right. Carlos is gonna have a lot of work with those young kids. They got a long way to go to get through school and everything, right? Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, again, pretty much everything's been spoken, for, congratulations to our anniversary, and also, Carlos, I didn't know you'd been actually here since 1990, so 32 years, but actually 35 years, so, yeah, you're getting older by the minute. But I think, and I can see you sitting there thinking, boy, this is my last meeting. It's gotta be a little weird sitting there right now. But congratulations to you. You've been a great part of this district, and you're gonna be sorely missed. But I know you're not leaving town, so you're gonna be around. So it's gonna be, well, we'll see more of you, in a different vein, but that's one of the beauties of life in retirement, I'm sure. Congratulations again. Went to a couple of Inland Empire Utilities meetings, nothing new on the water on their scene. The Monterey trip was very nice. Met with the chief, and did a video filming, and also the boxing expedition. A lot has been said about that. I kind of expected kind of just a easy, quiet, just kind of like stand around, throw a few punches. But boy, it got competitive, and it got loud, and it was, I was like shocked. Wow, it was just incredible. You had to be there. It's one of those things, you had to be at that event to actually appreciate these comments. But then I started thinking, okay, now, how are we gonna top that next year? This is not gonna be an easy thing to do, so I was thinking maybe it could be a wrestling match one year instead of boxing. Maybe you could have a shooting match, but PD would have the advantage, but we could have a ladder match, and I'm sure we'd be much better in that. So I don't know where that thing's gonna go, or the years it's gonna happen, but it was a lot of fun, and I was glad to see that. So that's all my comments.
Okay, Vice President Krieger.
All right, I attended many of the same things that everybody else did. Certainly congratulations to Leslie and Dawn for their time. Attended Monterey, met with Congresswoman Young Kim. As Andy mentioned, at a different chamber event, we ran into Congresswoman Norma Torres and had some great conversations with her at that. Attended the Chino Hills Community Park re-grand opening. Also stopped by the Pause in the Park event. So it was a busy month, met with the chief and videotaping, all that other stuff. I also would like to talk about you, Dr. Skibar. At your event, you donated and put together this beautiful podium. It's not here. So is that going to be at the training center, or?
That's where it is now, but it's up to you guys where you want it.
It is really special. So can you talk about it just for 1 minute and tell us the pieces, where they came from and what you did with it?
Yeah, so it's originally, well, I did some more research. That actual oak table was purchased around 1980 at Station 65. So the kitchen table, obviously in the fire service, is an important piece of furniture. So, a couple years ago, well, 10 years ago now, we had this table that was kind of rickety old and they needed a new table, so we couldn't give it away. Thrift stores wouldn't take it, nobody wanted it, so we're gonna throw it in the dumpster, so I decided, well, maybe someday I'll make something out of it, right? Well, a couple months ago, I was looking at that thing in my garage going, we need a podium, so maybe I can make something out of the old kitchen table, so. But I wanted to have some more historical significance, so, with that, I took some, so on the bottom of the podium, is the actual railing of the table, so we engraved our values on that. As part of the base, there are two pieces of old Station 61 that was demoed, so we have some bricks there in the base. And some documents I wanted to include in that base is, because the Chino Valley Fire stands for our values, right? So I also wanted to include in there some scripture, so I have scripture pages in the base, along with the Constitution, and also the County Resolution 97-1, which is the founding of the district. So that's in the base. And then along that, the tables on top of it shaped as a podium. We have our district logos. We have some of our old mottos on there. Answering the call since 1895, and then the other one is creating a tradition of service. And on top is In God We Trust, with the actual piece of the kitchen table on top of that, with an acrylic patch, or engraved in the acrylic is the patch, and Proverbs 27:17, which iron sharpens iron. So there's some historical significance along with one of our old fire bells from one of the fire engines that we no longer have here. So that's basically.
It's truly
there, so.
it's truly special.
That's a work.
It's really just a piece of art. So it's fantastic. I look forward to seeing that and to have that being displayed and being used. So
Thank you.
Thank you for doing that. That was really special. And with that, I wish you the absolute best.
Okay, so
To you.
okay, thank you very much. I also had a meeting with the fire chief. I did the grand opening of Toastique. I had a State of the Fire District update, working on getting ready for that. The CSDA annual conference. I attended the Chino Valley Leadership Collaborative graduation for Rita. Congratulations again, Rita, on that accomplishment. I know it's a lot, so really proud of her. And I also was beyond honored and privileged to be able to attend the 80th anniversary commemoration of the American Flying Tigers. And I had no idea what an honor it would be until I got to go there and sit during that time. And I think I've had many amazing, wonderful times during my term on this board, but I feel that to me has been very, very, the absolute most impactful. It was such a privilege. And I was able to meet Melvin McMullen. He was an aerial gunner in the 308th Heavy Bombing Group's squad. And there's 2 living pilots, and one of them couldn't attend. It was just a little ways for him to go, but the other could, and it was just amazing. And I know Mark Bozak was there as well, and I'm sure he'll share what a privilege it was to be able to have that invitation and be able to go. So I also, Congressman Young Kim's, the fire station update as well, State of the Fire District filming, and I also had a finance committee that day, had an agenda review the next day, fire safe council meeting. We're also getting ready for our trunk or treat event, so I had another meeting on top of that with that. I've had several meetings with legal counsel in the past month on the 4th and then the 5th, and attended Chino Hills Council meeting, Carlos's retirement, which I'll get back, and I didn't go to the park. I didn't go to the pause in the park because I actually went to Ranch Buddies over at Rebel Ranch on Saturday, so I was able to do that. Nurse Parham and Dawn, congratulations and thank you again. And for Carlos, last but certainly not least, I just want to thank you, personally thank you, not just for your service here, but for your commitment to our community and to us individually, all of us individually who you impacted. I consider you a cherished friend, a very cherished friend, Carlos. You have prayed for me. You have called me out. You have been there during my time of need. And just a lot of, just everything, and you always make time for everybody, no matter what. And when someone had said earlier about that peace, that always comes, Suzette said that. And that's the peace of God, the understanding that is just so unimaginable, that you're always so calm and so peaceful under all circumstances. And you have my number, and I know you're gonna be close by, but I just wanna thank you again. I'm so happy for you to be able to go and spend time with you and your family are healthy, and just your commitment to our Lord and Savior. And Carlos, you've done it well. You have done it well. And with much respect and gratitude, I congratulate you on your retirement, Carlos. This one, thank you, yeah, very, very much for that. And I want to congratulate and thank Vasquez and Silva for the participation in their friendly amateur boxing sparring fundraiser, the representation of the Fire District and Chino PD, and our community in support of the Chino Youth Boxing Foundation is beyond appreciated. Really, really appreciate that. I also want to wish, I know I'm almost done, guys, wish my youngest son a very happy birthday today. And I'm sorry I missed dinner tonight, but they understand. And I personally want to wish and extend my deepest condolences to Erica Kirk and her family. The tragic assassination of her husband, Charlie Cook, is both heartbreaking and a sobering reminder of the evil that we face in our world today. May he rest in peace. He's a good and faithful servant whose legacy will continue to endure. And with that, legal counsel, can you please continue the meeting for us, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Board President. So at this time, the board will now re-adjourn to closed session under item 2, the item that was read into the record earlier this evening. That is the public employee appointment. Any reportable action will be made at the conclusion of that closed session.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone, for your attendance. Board met in closed session as follows. Item number, do I need to read both of them or just item number 2?
We already reported out no reportable
Okay.
action on one, so it'd be
Okay.
item number 2.
Okay, item number 2, public employee appointment pursuant to Government Code Section 54957 for legal counsel pursuant to Fire District's agreement with BBK. A substitute attorney may be appointed as general counsel at the board, and the board shall have the right to interview any proposed substitution. The board has met in closed session and interviewed legal counsel candidates. A motion was made by myself and second by Vice President Krieger and passed 5-0 vote to appoint Holland Stewart, General Counsel for the Chino Valley Independent Fire District, effective beginning 9/11/2025. The board has directed staff to prepare an amendment to the legal services agreement with BBK, reflecting the change in general counsel for consideration at the next board meeting. All right, and the meeting will be adjourned to the regular meeting of the Board of Directors of the Chino Valley Independent Fire District to be held on Wednesday, October 8th, 2025 at 6 p.m. at the district headquarters office located at 14011 City Center Drive, Chino Hills, California, 91709. Thank you.